Good morning. I watched a 43-second crash course on the distinction between policy and law by High Desert Community Watch, and I've been ruminating on it ever since. And I have determined that I'm going to actually educate instead of just mock. So, High Desert Community Watch, you sounded retarded. You probably confused the shit out of that poor gal you were talking to. You definitely confused the shit out of your viewership. You yourself are probably confused as shit. So let me help you out. There is no real distinction between policy and law. Policy shares the same root as police. Basically means city administration. This is from the Greek, so back in the day where there were city-states. Now it can just really mean anything that's administrative. It really can. And laws are policies that are codified. They have gone through whatever lawmaking processes that are required to become law. That's really it. I think the distinction that you were trying to look for, and here's me trying to be helpful to you, is that a landowner lacks the authority, they lack the power to enforce their will outside of their property lines. Inside of your property lines, homeowners, landowners, whoever, property owners, tenants, whoever has a right of possession there, have the right to trespass people who aren't abiding by whatever rules that person in possession has put into place. Now, the governments can't always trespass people, so they might add fines or jail time to their enforcement mechanisms. But trespass is always like the go-to for enforcing the will of the person in possession, typically the landowner. Now, the city has the power to enforce its will on anybody within the jurisdictional limits of the city, and maybe slightly outside of it. Like if someone is standing just outside of the city line and shoots somebody just inside of the city line, maybe the city will be able to exercise jurisdiction over it, maybe not. Same thing with states, same thing with the US federal government. So I think that's the distinction that you're looking for, is that outside of the property of that whatever company it was, they lack the power to enforce their policy, whereas you are still within the territorial jurisdiction of a city or state or the US federal government, and so they retain the power to enforce their policies upon you. And if you think I'm being silly about policies, seriously, check out your insurance policy. Look at the regulatory policies of the United States. Look at our security policy. Look at our self-defense or our military policy. It's the policy of the state of California that breaking and entering into someone's dwelling is a criminal act, and it is the policy of the state of California that someone committing that criminal act, violating that policy, should be punished by a fine and or jail time or prison time of up to X number of years. So there's your 4-minute and change crash course into try not to sound retarded if you're educating people. Thanks for watching and have a great day.